Alright, hi everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Max05. I'm talking a little bit quietly right now because unfortunately it's very late in the night and my sister is sleeping. But I wanted to create an episode of my vinyl collection today and kind of expand it a little bit. So first things first, I kind of want to change the title to my music collection, as today we're not going to talk about only vinyls, but there's also the CD, which is, yeah, that's kind of it. Okay, so, excuse me. I'll take you through the structure of the video. First, I want to talk about um, an event that is happening very soon, actually next Sunday. Secondly, I want to talk about three IDM albums. Third, I want to talk about an album which I've recently just given a 0 on my Album of the Year page, where my name is also Supermax205. Please go follow. And after that, I want to show you my current top 5 albums of the year. And trust me, there's quite a lot actually. It's like pretty diverse. But hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, so if you've been on my channel for the last 9 months, because I was inactive for a long time, I was distracted by Brad Taste in Music suddenly turning to a VTuber, which like happened today. But I'm gonna raise it up now. So I'm pretty sure you guys remember that I reviewed Lift Your Skinny Fists 9 months ago. I made like a albeit kind of shitty review. I mean, like all my videos are shitty. I later recorded with my phone, so. But I'm actually gonna see these guys live this next Sunday. Go to Ubeck Emperor in Paradiso in Amsterdam. Originally, this should have happened somewhere in January, but because of the virus, which I'm not allowed to talk about because YouTube will probably just terminate my freaking channel. It was replaced. I mean, no, it was rescheduled to April 9th, which is in 8 days. So I'm really excited. For me, it's 7 days because I'm recording this on April 2nd. But whoops, spoilers there. But yeah, I'm actually gonna go see them live, and I'm really curious as to what it's gonna be like to see these guys live, because like their music is very different from my first concert which I've gone to, which was Porter Robinson. I still have some footage of that concert. Actually, it was in Tivoli. I might share it with you guys, but be cautious. It's pretty shitty quality, of course. Right. So secondly, I want to talk about one genre of music which I've gotten really interested in, and that was IDM music. I remember scrolling through. Also, this is like multiple albums, so like for the first time ever, we actually have like a multi-album episode, which is I just kind of wanted to make up for the time which I haven't recorded videos, but yeah, that's kind of yeah. So I found the first album we're gonna talk about. I found it when I was scrolling through Rachel Music through like the best albums ever made, and I saw this thing over here, which I will reveal in 3, 2, 1. There it is. Selected Ambient Works by Aphex Twin, his debut album released in 1992. Genres being ambient techno and IDM, of course. I found this album in the best of all time list, and at first I was actually really scared of listening to it, since the only Aphex Twin song I had heard up until that point, was Come to Daddy, which is very different from the material which is on this album. Because like Come Daddy is all like breakbeat and it's loud and just screaming of "I wanna eat your soul" or something like that. So I went on Spotify, really scared, and I opened up the album and I played it. I started with Extol, and like I was instantly blown away. Like this is one of the most calming albums I've heard ever, basically. yeah, that's kind of it. Let's actually go showcase the vinyl now. Okay, so oops, a little bit too quick on that one. You actually can't open it up because when you look inside of here, it's just like your standard kind of package, really. Vinyl's almost like falling out of here. Give me a second. Like it's kind of your standard. It's your standard vinyl thing. It's if I can get it out of here for a moment. As you can see, if I can kind of, oh, there it is. It's black on the outside, and in the middle it has the Aphex logo, which everyone knows, and the side, which this is side A. So this would be Extol, Fa, and Pulse Width, which is also my favorite side. It's not even close because I like every single one of these. So yeah, I found Aphex, and after that I got really interested in IDM, which led me into another band which is very similar to Aphex. Well, Aphex is not a band; it's like one person. But I found another band which I will reveal in a couple seconds after I put these vinyls back in their position. Ba-da-ba-ba, here it is. I mean, like, you should have probably expected this. And, like, when someone talks about Aphex or the IDM in general, they must not forget about Boards of Canada, which, which consists of Marcus Eoin and, like, Matt Sanderson, I'm pretty sure his name was. I don't remember names on the well. But they released this album, Music as Directed Children, their debut, same thing as Ambient Works, which released in 1992, in 1998. And you can see like the little faceless kid here, and the track titles. Now, when you go to this album on Spotify, there's actually 18 tracks, not 17, as you can see here. There will be another one which is called Happy Cycling, which unfortunately is not in the version I have. Like, I have the reissue from 2013. Well, if you bought the original from 1998, you would have probably gotten Happy Cycling on your copy, but I don't have it, unfortunately. But yeah, but let's unpack it. Let's see what it contains inside. Now, unlike Static Ambient Works, this one actually opens up and shows this really blurry picture of more faceless children. Like, if you know one thing about Boards, they love their children. Like, I don't really want to play music right now because again it's late in the night, but they use children's samples a lot. You can hear like an ego in your mind, and also probably the most recognizable one being the color of the fire, which would be orange. if you know Boards of Canada, you get a joke. But after the release of this album, people were absolutely loving it. Like they were praising it left and right, saying about how innovative it is. And then Boards thought, you know what? Oh, wait, no. You know what? Thought, you know what? Let's throw a complete monkey wrench of people's expectations, which is the album we're going to talk about next. But first, let's unpack the vinyls. Same. Oh, hold on. Excuse me for the little failed take over there. I can't really cut that out properly. But so when you look at the vinyl, you can actually see way more than just side A and side B. They have the title of the album, of course. They have Michael Sanderson, Marcus Eoin. So I was wrong, unfortunately. You can see like all the information about Scam and Warp. Fortunately, this was not a scam. This is actually the album. But yeah, you can see it. Side 1, you can see the track listing. My favorite on this side probably being Telephasic Workshop, which is track 4. If my camera could turn a little bit sharper, thank you very much. There you go. You can see it sticking out here. It's standard black. It's not really anything special inside of this vinyl. Trust me, there is an album which is not standard black in my collection, which I will probably talk about in episode 10, because like that's a milestone, all right? Like, I think that when I reach episode 10, I want to talk about like that album and really explain why it's like one of my favorites of all time currently. It released 2 years ago, but it's not really in the IDM genre, so I can't really like splice it in here. We're gonna move on now to that other album, if I can put this back real quick. So remember when I said that boards just threw monkey wrench at you? Well, that happened with the release of this album, which I don't have on vinyl, but I do have on CD. Gio Gotti. And here's the weird thing: every single time I took a look at this cover, I always thought that this tree over here was like the entity on the cover, but I recently saw that like this is just like a regular tree. Like this, and this are all like really just big humans, basically. I can't explain it any other way. It's just big humans. If we turn it around, we find the track listing, of course, with my favorite probably being Music is Math, which, like, I found this album. Yeah, I don't remember now how I found Boards of Canada. I was watching like Disturbing Albums by Pat Jennington. Check him out, a great YouTuber. And he was talking about this album, and it said like that it was really disturbing how this album used nostalgia, but also just pure creepiness. What the heck is that? There's like a little novel over here. Anyways, he was talking about how disturbing it was that this album kind of used nostalgia against you almost. Or, like, it makes you feel like you're a kid again, but also reminds you of how small you really are as a child. Like for example, you lost your mother in the grocery store. How do you feel now? But like if we open this up, it's only take like a couple seconds, so I'm not gonna cut this out. There you go. You can find there's this thing. There's this like little paper thing, which if I can get it out, give me a second. Right. So every CD has like this little booklet of things in it. This album doesn't really have all that many lyrics, so I don't think we're gonna find much. But if we open this up, we can find this really strange artwork. I actually have never seen this before, but so if we take a look at this first one, it looks like a cross, like a red cross, and some like strobe lights or something, like stage lights. It instantly gives me the feeling of like a church, basically. If we take a look at the second one here, we can find this weird. Excuse me, if this one just wants to stay open. We can find this weird kaleidoscope of this child smiling, I think. Like I hope he or she is smiling. It looks like a she, so I hope she's smiling. Because she could also look distressed based on how you look at it. We're gonna scroll along here. We find this thing, which like there's like this. I think that's a dog. There's like this dog on this painting. I don't really have another word for it. Now we have this thing, which just looks like if you took the cover from 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul and tossed it in acid. Yeah, it might be like sound like really weird, but we're gonna move on to this very last one. Okay, so we got this left side over here with a face that honestly looks like one of my family members. I'm not gonna say which one, because privacy, of course. So we have this weird light, which looks religious again. Then we just have this child looking, what I can only describe as confused. And then we also have this, which just looks like, this looks like Aphex. This straight up looks like if Aphex Twin made a kaleidoscope of his own face, but with like religious shit in it. And we got this very last one, which is kind of like the De La Soul on Crack expansion pack. and it's like these children just walking around this desert. Yeah, that's kind of that's kind of it for this album. Like I would recommend watching the video of like this. I don't know what name it is, what his name was, but like there was a really good video about this album. You should really check it out. It's great. But I'm kind of done with saying everything here, other than just giving spoilers, because like it's a showcase of a CD. If my camera could like stop blurring out all the time. Anyways, I'm gonna put this back, and after that we're gonna get like, you know what? I actually changed my mind. I'm gonna start with the positives first. Okay, for this next section, I unfortunately don't have any vinyls or anything, so I'm just gonna keep it black, so it's like a podcast. You just hear my voice. I want to talk about my top 5 albums of the year currently first. If you follow me on Album of the Year, name is Submax205, please go follow again. I'm saying it so many times, it sounds like a sponsorship. But, yeah, so my top 5 of the year currently is kind of all over the place. At number 5, with an 84 out of 100, I have 10,000 Gex by 100 Gex. Which is just like, it's a very fun album. Just, I like fun in my albums. I don't need these musical masterpieces, which I just showed you, of just complete and utter messes all the time. I don't need that. Sometimes I just want fun, and this album was great fun. My favorite track is Hollywood Baby, which is the one I'm still playing to this day. Like I can't stop playing it. It's so catchy. It's so well produced. Yeah, that's kind of it. Number 4, complete tonal shift, is Dog's Body by Model Actress with an 85. My review probably sums it up. It sounds like if you went to a psychiatric hospital and just asked the patients, hey, make a band, and don't just start screaming in a microphone and strangling people. Starlog. Yeah, and they come out with that. Like they're still sane enough to use their instruments correctly, but they're completely unhinged. Favorite track is Maria, and least favorite is Divers. Least favorite of 10,000 Gex for me probably being either Frog on the Floor or The Most Wanted Person in the United States. Number 3, it goes to Skrillex, Quest for Fire. And it was just a very fun EDM album. I was just kind of waiting for a nice, good EDM, bro step, whatever you want to call it, album this year. And Skrillex really delivered. Like, it was just fun. That's all I can say about that album. It was just a lot of fun with some generally really beautiful moments. Favorite track probably being Still Here, with ones that they came with Porter Robinson, because duh. And my least favorite is Tears with I don't know what the features are, but that one unfortunately was my least favorite. Number 2 with an 89, Chris Fine an 86 by the way. Number 2 with an 89, and what was originally my album of the year until something dethroned it, is Let's Start Here by Lil Yachty. Trust me, if you would have told me last year that Lil Yachty would be album of the year for around a month, I would have asked you, get your shit together. Like, you would just be kidding me. I would not believe you, but it's real, and I love the album. Favorite, like, it was just a fantastic psych rock experience. Just sounding like if Pink Floyd wrote music. If Pink Floyd wrote music that's like related to Gen Z in the year 2023, which we live in right now, and which is also gonna age this so poorly in like 9 months. But yeah, it was just bliss, just mwah, perfect production, lyricism, which I didn't really care for, but just fitted. Favorite track, the Black Seminole, and least favorite probably being probably Pretty, like Pretty with the freaking smiley faces, which is still like a 7 out of 10, which scores really high. But then we get to my number one with a 94 out of 100. It's Lumi by Snail's House. That's not a joke. You can. I would probably say I'm a massive Snail's House fan, considering I gave Ordinary Songs to an 86 and Imaginarium a 96. With my favorite song of that one being Imaginary Express, and from Ordinary Songs 2 being Hot Milk. But when I listened to this album, I just felt really comforted. Just it was. I know I'm ripping off my own reviews, whatever, but I just really enjoyed it so much. Like it just felt like you were in this house in the middle of nowhere. It's like I'm just gonna like you're in Greenland, and it's cold everywhere, and you've just been walking. It's cold as all hell outside, and then you find a house, like a tiny little house, which just looks really colorful, really vibrant, like really beautiful, and you just walk over there, and you knock on the door, and this little kid lets you inside, like, oh, come on in, yeah, I know it's cold, and you just take a seat and you just relax, like just your nerves and all your stress just evaporates, and just that's actually the feeling that this album kind of gives me, just real comfort. And I'm happy that it's currently my album of the year, and I don't think it's gonna change that soon. But then again, I still have to listen to Lana Del Rey, Boy Genius, the new Liturgy album. I have listened to Scaring the Hose. It just barely missed this top five. It was an 82. But yeah, for my top five albums of the year, that's kind of it. Like, obviously, it's prone to change. It's only April 1st at the moment. April 2nd, technically. Because in my time zone, it's April 2nd, blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, that's kind of it. Okay, so major content warning for this next one. This is kind of a rant, which I just really wanted to do. This contains topics of hurting oneself and ending oneself. So, like, if you want to avoid that, please stop watching this video right now, because like I replaced it here because I can't put timestamps anywhere. I'm recording from my phone. I don't have like OBS or anything. So yeah, but let's start ranting a bit. So when I showed you like Boards of Canada and Aphex, I was like, oh, I really like IDM stuff. But and through Boards of Canada, I was kind of looking through their lost media. Like, if you're a hardcore Boards of Canada fan, you might know about like their 5 lost albums, like Catalog Free, Acid Memories, Closest Volume 1, Play by Numbers, and Hooper Bay. And like the little, you probably heard like the little snippets of Duffy and Wouldn't You Like to Be Free and Circle. I kind of, but when I was scrolling through a list of lost media on Rachel Music, I came across this album, which was called This Isn't Even Real by some guy named Hyperbloom. And I was just kind of, I was kind of like, oh, why is this lost? And they said that it was deleted from their Bandcamp because it sampled a video of a guy who, I'm gonna keep it as family friendly as I can, but it sampled a 4chan video of a guy who had opened up his arm, both of his arms, and was losing a lot of fluid, and he was just running around like to his bathroom, to his bedroom, just over and over and over and over, just completely mental. just completely losing it, losing his mind, losing his fluids. And you know what this high balloon guy thought? Let's sample that. Let's put it in our album. And just, it was absolutely sickening. Like, I have not listened to that EP yet. It's 20 minutes or something. Like, I could be done with it like this. Like, I've listened to Nails. That was 20 minutes. I like Nails. But just the moment I heard that, my stomach just churned. It sounded disgusting. Ugh. And I gave the album like just a straight 0. Just honest to God, I don't understand it. Why would you sample a video of a guy who is literally just unaliving right that second? Just why would you do that? Like, are you just completely insane? Like, why? Why? That's just High Balloon. If you ever see this, why the hell did you decide to do that? Seriously, like I hope you're an actual good person, but currently it's not really showing. Like, yeah, I was pretty freaking mad in my review, like saying the F word and all that. Just avoid this album. If you want to listen to this album, don't, or just find a version which has the sample removed because that exists. But just avoid this album at all costs. Like, this is a 0 for me. This is a straight 0, and I've not listened to it, but I will never not give it a 0. Just avoid this album at all costs. Do not listen to it. Don't give this guy any time, unless he like suddenly makes a masterpiece or actually actually turns out to be a pretty good person. Like just don't listen to this. Please don't listen to this. Like, I'll describe it to you. Just like, if you're wondering what it sounds like, it's basically just like generic IDM breakcore, from what I've heard. Just generic ambient breakcore. Like if you want to listen to just ambient breakcore or ambient drum and bass, just listen to something like Suicide or Venetian Snares or like any of those guys who, like, aren't that awful. I mean, granted, Suicide not the best person either, but that's a completely different story, which I will not start. And I might also be a little bit hypocritical, considering I gave Suicide a 100 out of 100 once for her last album, which also is a completely different story. But I digress. Just avoid this album. Fuck this album. Fuck this guy. Just don't listen to it. Don't. Okay, but rant aside, I would like to thank you a lot for listening or watching to my episode here from my music collection. I will share the footage of the Godspeed album, hopefully, like next week when I go. And I will also try to upload the footage I had from that Porter Robinson concert, which I had in April 11th of last year, which is almost a year ago, which is bizarre. But I'll also put that online, and I would also just put the Godspeed album online. For episode 5, I will probably talk about... Yeah. For episode 5 will be about sample music, which will contain 2 albums, which I will not spoil. But, yeah. I would just say thank you very much for watching or listening. Like even though I'm still like a very small little 17-year-old boy on YouTube, just I make videos because I like music. And if you like music too, come ahead and join me. Like, subscribe, like, whatever. Just do whatever helps with the algorithm or whatever. But anyways, see you next time. I hope you have a good day, and I'm signing off for now. Goodbye.